I'm on camera now.
Yeah, you're on
That
camera now. So just a little background. So we met up in Miami. That was pretty cool. Um,
was cool.
you told me about a lot of stuff that you were doing, which is pretty interesting. So for the people that don't know, tell everyone who you are, what you do, and be as descriptive as possible.
It's scripted. Okay. So my name's Ethan James. I go by Ethan James. My real name's Karmalinsky. But most people call me Ethan James. I'm 22 years old. I just moved to Miami a couple months ago. And I've done digital marketing for the past 3 or 4 years now, kind of just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I started basically anyone who would pay me. So I was basically offering everything to everyone. Then I niched down two real estate agents doing PR. And then I think that I switched too early, but my bottleneck was like I would get on the phone with these real estate agents saying, hey, how do I know if I pay you to get featured on these major news sites? How do I know I'm going to get my money back? So that's when I really started to dive into real estate lead generation. And that was through Google Ads at first. I did a little bit of that. I got licensed as a real estate agent because I just really wanted to understand the market. I did that for like a year, and then this is where I kind of lead back to Gadoos, is that I was looking for lead generation services, but more specifically the cold email. And I found Inframail, I found Gadoos, and yeah, it's kind of been history ever since.
Yeah, yeah, that's really dope. And when we talked in Miami, the we'll get into what you actually do, which is pretty interesting. But how long have you been doing cold email before you started using Inframail? Was it a long time or?
Yeah, I mean, like when I was originally selling PRs, when I really like actually started to learn cold email, and that was obviously through like if anyone's familiar with the money Twitter, it was a big thing like 1 or 2 years ago. They're talking about you got to buy these G Suites for $6 a user, and then I bought like 10 or 20 of them, and that's when I really got introduced.
Nice, nice. And so it's been a couple of years since you've been doing cold email.
Correct, yeah.
Back then, what were the softwares like? I think it was instantly out back then and all that stuff.
I didn't use instantly. I used Snovio.
No.
Actually, Snovio and then Woodpecker was like actually my first one, which was a big mistake because it basically provided the same thing as Snovio for like 10x the cost.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I remember that. I remember because I watched Iman's course and he told us to use Snov and I was like, what the heck? And it was super expensive, but then instantly came out and all that. So yeah, I mean, after you found Inframal, because I know that that was like the huge reason why we started Inframal was because like the G Suite issue, I set it up. It was like super long, super expensive. So far, how's your experience been using Inframal? You're on the agency pack, which you're like getting tons of domains. You're getting like so many, it's crazy. Um,
100 to be specific, yeah.
yeah, yeah, 100. And that's 300 inboxes you have, right?
No, so I did the max. I have 1,000 inboxes.
1,000 inboxes. That's
So
pretty savage. Okay, that's savage. Okay, and you're getting 2% reply rates. So yeah,
yep.
how is that like with all that outreach using Inframal? How's it been like so far, your experience?
So like when I was originally, so I don't we didn't touch on this yet, but I target homeowners, which is kind of like a interesting niche because I feel like a lot of people doing cold email, it's all B2B. Every like if you talk about cold email, it's always B2B. But as a real estate agent, I'm not trying to target businesses. I'm trying to target homeowners. So I figured out how to basically find unlimited homeowner email addresses, and I looked at that data. I looked at the spreadsheet. I said, wait, if I can just like mass email these people, then I can basically make a lot of money and grow my business. So I started looking at solutions. I found, I forget who it was, it was a mail scale. It was Snail, something like that. It was like a competitor to your guys's, but they charged per inbox. It was super cheap. I started sending cold email through there, and I immediately got banned. But I did a little more digging. I found Inframail, and as soon as I got onto Inframail, I was honestly blown away. Because it literally prompted me. I typed in a couple things, I clicked a couple buttons in the DMARC, the SPF, everything was set up. And then I started sending emails, and the way that it just AI generates the domain, creates the usernames and emails and passwords, all within one click is honestly mind blowing. Um, and then giving that spreadsheet to us to upload that into to Instantly, I think was genius because I was well on my way to just sending massive emails.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty awesome. And shout out to Amon for doing that. I mean, he's the one that built the whole platform. But yeah, I mean, it's insane. 1,000 inboxes. It's like I think there's only very few people that have over 1,000 inboxes. Like percentage wise from all the users that we have.
Yeah.
So it's pretty insane. And you're getting 2% reply rates on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how are you even
So
managing all that?
so it's safe to say that I'm definitely not maxing out my email sending. Might need to hire a couple of inbox managers because it gets yeah, because so 1,000 inboxes, I'm sending out about 25 emails per day per inbox. So that's about 25,000 emails I can send out. That's like my cap. Which at 2% reply rates, I think is at like 500 email replies per day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm actually only sending out 5,000 right now, and then obviously as I scale, I'll max that out. But it's 2% reply rates is honestly insane because I started campaign this morning and I clicked a button and then I literally just see 20 interested leads in my inbox within like 1 or 2 hours. So it's safe to say that there's no lack of leads.
Yeah, that's insane. That's insane. 20 interested replies. A lot of people like are grateful for like one or two replies that they can follow up with. So you don't even know what to do with the leads. You're like handing them out at this point.
I honestly I feel like I'm taking it for granted. Like sometimes I'll see a reply, like and I'll obviously get to my super interested leads, but like I'll see a reply that instantly marks as interested lead, and he has somewhat interest, and I just never reply,
Oh my
because
gosh.
there's just such an abundance of
Yeah, that's insane. That's like some great. You're getting so many leads that the people on the fence are like, I don't want to speak to you. I
yeah.
get it. I get it. So what's your secret? Because I know, so you're at 2% reply rates now, but you were at 0.05, like half a percent, and you four,
Half a percent.
yeah, half a percent, and you 4x'd it. How did you do that? Like, what was the secret?
So like I'll give you like the tactical, which is I literally just included one thing in the email. At first I was asking them, hey, are you interested in selling? Or are you open to selling your home? That's literally all I put. And I think that a lot of people like read that email and looked at me as like an investor, or some sort of like automated email. But I think that once I said, hey, if are you open to selling your home? I have an offer for you. So in the real estate space, I think that saying you have an offer automatically puts you in a more serious level. And this is obviously super tactical to real estate, but to even broaden that a little bit in whatever industry you're in, I think that when I said, hey, I have an offer for you, it immediately adds credibility to me, because it has something that they want. So again, I think that what took me from 0.5% to 2% reply rates is literally just mentioning as simple words, short as possible, something that they actually want to get into the next step. Because your goal in cold email is to never just like have them give you a call, right? You send a cold email and they say, hey, I want to buy your thing. It's usually not how it works. The goal is to get them to respond at first.
Yeah, exactly. And so basically you just included one sentence of your offering.
Yep. Yeah, it's 100%. Because at first I was like, "Are you open to selling your home?" Just a quick question. It's like, okay, well, are you serious? Are you not serious?
Mm,
But I said, "Hey, are you selling your home? I have an offer for you." The people who are, looking to sell their house, sellers are like, even if I wasn't like looking to sell my house, I would still be curious to know what the offer is because if
yeah.
I can bring an offer to them, they would obviously respond and turn into at least a lead.
Yeah, 100%. That's really interesting because if you just send, are you open to selling your home? They're just gonna kind of be like, ah, whatever. This person just randomly emailed me. But it makes sense if you have an offer there. That's really good. And so you're doing B2C, you're doing homeowners, which is something we just touched on. So that's a really hard market, and it's a lot of people don't even really do B2C. They usually do B2B using Inframail in general with cold email. So I guess do you have a secret to reaching out to them like versus B2B, or is it kind of the same, or is it easier, harder?
I would say it's the same, just different softwares. Obviously, if you go on like LinkedIn, you can find B2C, but these people are professionals, right? So it's like all the emails you're going to be finding are professional emails. It's the word emails. There's different softwares out there for specific to real estate agents and other different types of industries that honestly, if like you're a roofer, for example, you're local, these you don't need to be a licensed real estate agent to access this information.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you right now. I'll give you the sauce. It's called Mojo Dialer. And basically you pay 59 bucks a month and you get access to pretty much everyone's email. There's different ways around, like they cap you at 10,000. But yeah, you reach that's and then once you have the list, whatever you would do in B2B, if you found B2B is working for you, which everyone always says, plain text is possible, no links, no images, speak to like you're actually speaking to a person, make it personalized, like all that is still true in B2C. And I
Mhm.
think that is even it honestly good news. I will say that probably makes it a little bit easier reaching out to B2C because when B2Cs are always getting these flyers and these email campaigns and super like fancy things, but like if you just do like one or two sentences and ask it with a question, that's something they actually want to respond to. I think at least for me, that's what's worked.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. And they're probably like they have probably less of a wall because B2B people are like always know that they're being sold to in some way. I guess B2C kind of get that too. Of B2B though, it's like, I get that in my inbox all the time. But when you're a B2C and you see like an offer for your house, you definitely have an interest. Like you don't really have a wall there.
Yep.
Well, as much as it would be with B2B. So
Yep.
you mentioned personalization. How do you make it personalized? What's your method?
Yeah, so it's not obviously sending out 25,000 emails a day is it would be a lot a lot of difficult things to do to actually make it super personalized. But I have access to the first name, I have access to the last name, obviously the email, and then the address. So my current copy right now that's getting me the 2.5 to sometimes 3% reply rates is a name. So I put the name. Are you open to selling your home? Question. If so, I have an offer for you. Or are you open to selling address? So I literally just put the
Oh,
address.
nice.
And then the subject line still works, at least B2C. Quick question, name,
Yep.
right? You just put their name in the subject line. So that is, I literally just include their name and their address, and that seems to be working. But yeah, I would experiment with AI just in the future, but 2% reply rates, I don't want to change anything.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the meta is definitely that for now. I mean, the address line, and people also do think that every time someone hears personalized, they think that it's like some AI that's pulling in a bunch of information. But usually, I mean, a lot of the times it could also just be like the data that you have, like you said, you have their address. So that's already personal enough. I mean, you have someone's address right there. You don't need to be like, hey, I saw you went to this college or whatever, like, random thing. So yeah, like yeah, even if like a certain city, you could be like, hey, are you still, selling? I could get you an offer in the, based on the Houston area, blah blah, their city.
Yep.
So yeah, that's really dope. And so last question, right? What do you offer for real estate agents? Because it's very unique because a lot of people are doing the paid ad stuff. So what do you offer to them?
Yeah.
A unique thing that you're doing?
Yeah, so obviously, like I feel like especially real estate agents get bombarded with digital marketing services. They obviously Google Ads, social media, whatever it is. I guess there's like a limited amounts, but I think, like you said, I'm doing something super interesting. I think that what if I had to say if a real estate agent's listening right now, I think that a lot of brokers and team leaders push, the old school methods of like handwritten cards and door knocking and just like asking people, hey, do you know anyone? Or just trying to make friends with them. And 100% that works. But the thing that I do that's really good is the cold email. Um, and I think that no real estate agent has really ever experimented with that. So I mean, I've set up a couple systems, the same that I have in my business right now. But if you're a real estate agent and you want to learn more about cold email and trying to figure out how to reach out to homeowners you've never spoken to before and get leads every single day that are saying, hey, I'd be open to hearing more about selling my house. That's when I would say, yeah, definitely reach out to
For sure. And without running paid ads and having this weird offer where
me.
yeah, well, it's no cost, but you have to spend like 2 grand on ads every month.
Right, 100%. And that's the one thing with cold email too, is that it's a fixed cost. So the same with, especially with real estate, and I mean any market, is that in the middle of the US is going to be way cheaper than like the Bay Area for running ads,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But the Bay Area and the middle of the US for cold emails the exact same,
Exactly.
which makes it obviously a massive benefit for both parties, but more especially is like the more expensive markets, you're not paying a couple hundred. I've heard people pay like $500 a lead just in like the Bay Area, which is just, that's like double my email cost per
Yeah.
month.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. And I mean, you could sell these leads too, right? Like you could just like sell them like one off.
Yeah. I mean, like if any real estate agents like, dude, I'm looking for more interested homeowners that are looking to sell, and especially that what's going on with like NAR and everything. I don't know if you guys heard, but NAR basically has been cracking down on the real estate market more specifically. Actually, no, they got sued. So like NAR is actually having to like change things, but what that does is that makes listings even more present. And obviously, when you find homeowners who have the potential to sell, they turn into listings. And the real estate agent listings are king. So,
Interesting. All right. All right, Ethan. Well, I appreciate your time. We're gonna do some hot seat questions because you gave a lot of sauce. So hopefully people take it because it's been running through my mind. It's one of the like crazy things I've heard when we sat down in Miami. I was like, this is like crazy, like the way you're getting the leads and all that stuff. I was like, this is really interesting. So we'll do some
yeah,
hot seat questions, some quick ones. Instantly or smart lead?
instantly.
Okay, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Dogs or cats?
I hate to say cats, only because I have one, but not by choice. Anyways, moving on.
Summer or winter?
Oh, summer.
Okay, sweet or sour?
Sweet.
Okay, city life or country life?
Oh, depending on the season, I think city life when you're younger, country life when you're older.
Fair enough. Okay, morning person or night owl?
Morning.
Okay, cool. And we'll do a last one actually. M- uh, beef or fish?
Beef.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, beef is easy. But Ethan, yeah, I appreciate your time, man. Yeah, thanks for coming on the channel and hopefully you get some clips for what you're doing too. But yeah,
Yeah.
everyone check out his stuff. You have anything you want to plug?
I have Instagram, ethan.ejk, just the letters EJK. And then my Twitter is Ethan EJK, no dot. So
All
follow
right.
me there. And then yeah, just reach out to me if you guys have any questions. I'm more than happy to help.
All right, awesome. All right, everyone. See you.